G'day, mate, and welcome to Factorio with me, Jetty, or welcome back to Factorio. Hopefully it's welcome back to Factorio. You've been seeing all these episodes, but maybe this is the first episode you actually caught, which is a beautiful time because it's a recap episode. I cover everything that's happened last week. At the same time, we do a quick explain of what this series is. So this series is my SpaceX series. I've called it SubX series because what happened is my channel some time ago hit 5,000 subscribers. When it hit 5,000 subscribers, I wanted to launch a rocket for every single subscriber. But that'd be 5,000 rockets. That'd be boring. That'd be over and done with by now. I would have, called the series done and we would have moved on with something else. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to up the ante a little bit, make things a little bit more expensive, a little bit more interesting. At the same time, I wanted to use the YouTube API and actually pull down every single subscriber's name, which I have done, and actually write your name across the side of your whatever I'm going to launch in your honor. Turns out, my infinite wisdom, I went and chose the SpaceX mod. So the SpaceX mod requires you not to launch a rocket to win the game. You actually need to launch a full spaceship to win the game. A full spaceship composes of all these items. So it's, a protection shield, a fusion reactor, habitation, life support, astrometrics, a command module, 2 fuel cells, 4 lots of thrusters, 10 hull components so we can bolt everything to it, and a fast and light drive. So sounds simple enough. 23 rockets per completed launch. Let's put it that way. 23 rockets per completed launch. Each one of these items ranges from the expensive to the cheapish, except you need 10 of them, all the way up to, slightly more expensive when you start using Module 3s launched off into space, to lots of Module 3s, to some more Module 3s, to really, 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 have I said really enough, really expensive with lots of Module 3. So that was the premise for this series, and as you can see, we've launched a few rockets, but it is 1 per subscriber, so I obviously have a long way to go yet. On top of that, I decided, look, I have supporters out there. They are those that support the channel through either a Patreon pledge every month, which starts off at like $2, but I appreciate it. You have no idea how much it means to me and this channel that I cannot have to worry about what AdSense is deciding to do this month, what next adpocalypse is going to come, and I can have a stable amount of income not coming in that I actually spend. It actually goes straight back towards the channel. So it's paying for any PC upgrades, any internet, software, backups, all sorts of things. It really makes a massive difference on the channel. So I have Patreon supporters. On top of that, I also have Twitch subscribers. A lot of my Twitch subscribers already have Amazon Prime, and they're using their free Twitch Prime subscription by having an Amazon account that you're already paying Amazon however many dollars per month for, varies country to country. You're then turning around, linking your Amazon account to your Twitch account, and then throwing Amazon's money at me, which I very, very much appreciate, and most people also appreciate the fact they're taking away Amazon's money and they're giving it to their favorite content creator instead. Again, we all appreciate that. Lastly, I also have YouTube memberships. That's something that's been fairly recent to the channel. But yeah, also YouTube members, those that want to support the channel directly through YouTube, so I don't want to deal with Patreon or Twitch or whatever else, they're also, getting a special rocket. So all these special people that go out and support the channel, they get access to early episodes. They actually watch this episode generally a week early, not always a week, but up to a week early. Along with, they get to throw in ideas for new series, new games, that sort of stuff. Join us on special, like we are doing 7 Days to Die on a special Patreon server once a week, a couple of times a week, depending. Just little perks that I can give back if at all possible. So, with all that said and done, supporter rockets are slightly more expensive. The one I like looking at is the thrusters. No, thrusters, fuel cells. So the fuel cells, rather than and the best way to describe it is a supporter rocket is 2 to 10 times more expensive. So rather than having steel, processing units, low density structures, and rocket fuel, they have processing units twice as much, low density structures twice as much, nuclear fuel instead. Have you ever tried to make 1,000 nuclear fuel? It turns out it's a little bit difficult. And titanium plate rather than normal steel. Titanium plate I can actually use productivity modules with, and it's 1,000 of, so it's actually really, 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 really annoying to try and make, you know, 1,000 titanium for every single launch. Again, it's a fuel cell, so they need 2 of, so it's 2,000 nuclear fuel and 2,000 titanium plate per launch. Yeah, it gets expensive, along with the fast and light drive. Fast and light drive, everybody gets a premium fast and light drive. It's the exact same cost, but, you know, supporters do get a premium ship. That one, again, is really expensive. That is... I have no idea why I set the price that expensive. Anyway, as I said, that's the premise for this series. I have a lot of launches under my belt. We are adding more launches every day. I want to switch that to the on position so we can stop the automatic launches. And it's gone out of sync again, so I just need to grab some of these and manually throw them in silos. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll reset the counter. Okay, so as I said, very, very expensive launch system. We do have a lot of launches under my belt. As you can see, all the names are automatically pulled from the YouTube API and dumped straight into the game for me. At the same time, you get the joy of me trying to pronounce your name. There's been some doozies in there. You're currently set to switched off. On top of that, I have a whole separate launch cycle for supporters. So we're going to launch off a supporter as well, because I like launching off a supporter pretty much every episode I possibly can. Supporters also get their name stamped across the ground. Where are we? I want steel plate. Today's supporter is gonna be pulled straight from my Twitch. It's gonna be CE Smith. CE Smith has been a long time subscriber of the channel. I want to say he's a Twitch Prime subscriber, but I could be wrong. And we're going to throw his name right along here. So we have our YouTube members, my Patreon members, and my Twitch subscribers. We're adding to the list constantly, always more names going in. So what happened this week? That's probably what you're really waiting for. Hang on, let me go turn the silos back on. Otherwise I'm going to forget, because we have rockets to launch. We always have more rockets to launch. You off, which is on. Don't ask. It's how it's set up. So what happened this week? Okay, first off, going back to last week, we upgraded this being our fast and light drives. Fast and light drives, it's a whole separate build built elsewhere in the base. It's actually doing wonderful, except from the fact that I just realized we're out of blue circuits. We're out of blue circuits because we're out of acid. We're out of acid because this little crappy build can't crappy anything. It needs to be spoken to harshly. So we're going to have to probably make a trip out there this episode and just give this a general yell at, make it go a little bit faster. So that was one of the things. One of the things we did is we actually made sure that we could bring efficiency modules from the base, because the base does make efficiency modules, up here and put into this build. So basically, hopefully we could turn off part of this build, save ourselves a few resources, hopefully make sure that these speed modules and productivity modules go as fast as possible, even at the suffering of the efficiency modules, because we can bring them in from offsite. On top of that, many people for many long times have yelled at me about trying to make solar panels and make them go faster. So that was probably the first thing we started off with the week doing. We laid out, well, we did have this stack and this stack of solar, which they were getting us there, they were getting us places. They weren't doing a great job, but they were definitely doing something, and we extended it right the way out. I put down a whole bunch of solar panels, and as you can see, we are already running on green solar panels, that is the Mark II versions, but we also still have a whole bunch of Mark I accumulators mixed in. Main reason is I'm making accumulators way slower than I'm making solar panels. Cause of that is actually a lack of iron plate. So we're going to go look at that right now. At the same time, we're going to turn you off and you off and you off, because you guys are done. Iron plate is as easy as adding more to the network. Output priority left, please. Hopefully that's enough to... Actually, you know what? We'll move that there. We'll put that there. And then we'll double it. Okay. Hopefully that's enough to make enough of a dent that... Wow, that's a lot of crap in my inventory. Have we cleaned out all the crap? Not quite, but it'll do. So, we laid down a whole bunch of solar panels. The main reason was our nuclear reactors. We have all of this area filled with nuclear reactors. And nuclear reactors were getting larger and larger and larger. Actually, at the start of the week, I had to put down 2 new reactor builds because we'd maxed out our power already. We are using a lot of modules and beacons. On top of that, we actually have Factorio Extended installed, which gives us a couple of extra tiers of modules, which obviously have a increased energy consumption, along with productivity modules, which again give us a very increased energy consumption. Finally, we also have our beacons. Here we go, which, you know, consumption 720 watts compared to the vanilla ones, which consume 480 watts. So the power consumption goes up astronomically. We can see, well, there we go. A rocket silo consumes 138 megawatts of power for one silo, and I have 23 down here, plus I have 23 up here for a subscriber launch, so, you know, or a supporter launch, so things get very expensive. Even our assemblers, which have extra upgrades on them, if we drag that out of the way for just a second, you know, this guy by himself is, what, 15? No. 5 megawatts worth of power to run one assembler to make red sites. Yeah, 138 megawatts. Yeah, powers is something I tend to slide through quite a lot of. You're out of sync again? Really? Oh, it's a rocket fuel problem. Oh, okay. Guess what we're doing next week? We're looking into rocket fuel. Rocket fuel's backed up because it's got too much petroleum. Okay, maybe we can fix that right now. So things that happened this week. Obviously, we added in a whole bunch of more rocket fuel, which seems to have backfired because it's run out of... Can I have a tank, please? Thank you. Run out of places to put the petroleum, and we don't have enough light oil to actually make rocket fuel. Yeah, that'd make one hell of a difference. And we're just going to take all the petroleum, and we're going to shove it in a tank, and then blow up the tank. Because that's how I deal with fluid level problems, issues. The idea of this build is it's actually, I think it's meant to be... It's meant to have lots of light oil in it first before the petroleum takes off. Anyway, delete a whole pile of petroleum. Okay, so we upped the amount of rocket fuel. Obviously, maybe I need to look at the amount of rocket fuel we have again and add even more, because that's not enough. We added the solar. The other two important things we did... hang on, just clean up as I go. Yeah, 3.7k. I'm not destroying that chest. That'd be a lot of crap I did not want in my inventory. Cool. Yeah, more crap in my inventory. Can I walk through any of these builds, please? Thank you. Okay. The other big project we did this week is we were making productivity module 6s in base. It was actually one of the very, very first things we did when this series started was... Hang on, more upgrade planner. Let's just swipe 2 rows for a change. 2.6. Yeah, good. Go for it, guys. Okay. One of the things we were doing, had been doing for a long time, is right down in this corner, we were making productivity module 6s. And at the start of the week, we had around about 1,200 productivity module 6s hanging around, doing a whole bunch of nothing. And then at the end of the week, well, we'd upgraded and built one of these. One of these produces the grand total of, at running full speed, each one of these builds here producing speed modules produces 8 speed modules 6s per minute, which we've already built one down here, which shoves them out to the this train, which then delivers them back to the base. But as I said, this makes 8 speed modules 6s per minute. So we built 2 of them. We came and put 2 lots of red circuits and 2 lots of smelters to feed the red circuits, whole bunch of green circuits to feed the red circuits, plus a whole bunch of green circuits to feed the blue circuits, plus a whole bunch of green circuits to actually feed the module build, to make a speed module 6 build that just makes more speed modules, a lot more speed modules. Another 8 per minute for each one of these builds. So it's 16 plus the original one we have down here doing 8. So we're now making 24 speed module 6s per minute. And then I filled in whatever modules couldn't be filled in originally with the 6s because we'd run out, we'd spent them all. I filled them in with speed module 3s, and then we ran upgrade planner over the whole thing at the end of the week to make sure they all automatically got upgraded to the version 6s. And we are now 3.1 thousand speed modules short. Just a little bit, We're getting there bit by bit by bit, but we're just a little tiny itty bitty bit short. On top of that, what else did we fix? We were missing a green wire to turn these guys off. So it turns out every single time I flicked the switch to stop these guys launching, they launched anyway. So every single time we launched a supporter rocket, being every one of these we've launched, we also accidentally launched off 2 fuel cells of the normal variety for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, we have been upgrading this and upgrading the base as we go. We also upgraded our general solar production, which is here. Put a whole lot more effort into making a whole lot more solar. There is 2.1k in there and 500 accumulators with another 4,800 solar panels up there. We have a few solar panels now, and we were upgrading and getting things running a little bit faster so we get the solar builds done, because realistically I need to look at turning off the nuclear builds entirely, because we have a small, not UPS concern or problem, but it's getting lower time and time again. There's been one of those themes for this whole series, trying to stay on top of the UPS limit. We do have biters still on, and we do have pollution still on. So we do have options to turn both those off, stop having biters that live super close to bases just attacking all the time. It will save us a good amount of UPS. What else happened this week? I'm trying to think. That was pretty much it. It doesn't sound like a lot when you say it out loud, but this took ages. Even though we had the existing blueprints down here we could copy a base from, just doing the belt weaving, the belt connecting, everything else took quite some time, along with trying to work out exactly how to build everything so we didn't stress out our miners too much, because we're bringing an awful lot of materials in. We're also running stacked recipes, so each one of these little bits of iron ore or copper ore actually represents 25 copper, which we're then running in a smelter that runs at 1/25th of the speed, but it is processing a full stack of 25 at a time to then run to the copper cable machine, which again runs at 1/25th of the speed, but does process 25 plate into copper. You get 2 out, so it's 2 lots of 25 each, which we then run in the green circuits, so on and so forth. It has been a very, very interesting week. We do need to probably look at our plastic consumption and production as this speeds up, as it finally gets filled out with its speed module 6s. But yeah, 3,000 to go. There's a little way to go on some of these things. I need a train. Actually, we could probably just run there just as quick. If I don't run into things. Bye, next rocket. Actually, I should, whilst we run there, see whether I can get my name sorted out, because that's another thing I am doing. I am calling out every single launch and doing my absolute best to try and pronounce names as we go. We ended last episode at 547 launches, so we need to go to here. We need to go to Brando Marino, thank you so much. G Frost, thank you so much. Lang Legend, thank you so much. The Vangular Tacket. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Silver, Steelheart, Tashiki Katisu? I don't know. Isabel, Petro, you moved, and we just launched another rocket. Roy Manson Rubin, where is this build I'm looking for behind me? Tobias Sarazu, speed module in there. No, I didn't run out. Okay, and at the same time, productivity modules in there. And I noticed you're idle, so we're going to have you just help out. Acid. Lots of acid. Okay. Blue circuit's down, running better. Where we're up to? Extreme Rider. James Markham. Douglas Stegan Yutzi, Pro Gamer, C. Smith, who we just launched. Thank you so much for being a supporter. Wave Wet, Black Ops, Mativita, Bryce Roski. Are you now building? You are now building. Cool. Aslan Stallard, Asa Stallard, Key Tongues T, Dispensing reality. It makes sense when I slow the words down. Okay. Dr. Helen Tuss, Wojciech Kowski, Pansky Sepagager, Ectrocrafter, Little Robert, Mike DeGroot, George Bermudez, yeah. Okay, so thank you every single person that has clicked the subscribe button, and thank you again, C. Smith, for going above and beyond and actually helping support the channel. Every single one of you, your SpaceX SubX spaceship is on its way to you. It is being flown by Bob the construction bot. Don't ask, he's a great pilot. He should get there to you reasonably quickly, we hope. On top of that, research, which is something we're definitely going to be doing next week, probably. We do have mining productivity level 40, which doesn't really affect our miners, but definitely does affect our pubjacks. Our pubjacks, as we can see here, we have a productivity of 390%. We are running our pump jacks on complete overdrive to feed our refineries, which are on complete overdrive to feed our plastic gouging machines to, you know, feed all these builds, because all these builds are horrible builds. On top of that, we do have, if we go back to research, we do have mining drone productivity for the mini-me's. We're up to 173, which is massive. I haven't bothered with artillery range, he says, looking at that and seeing it's at range 7 already. Wow. I have done robot construction speed, of course. Haven't been doing the mining drone speed, because it looks like they really don't need more speed. Actually, we should take one of them. That's only 90,000, he says. Only. So yeah, next week I have a feeling we're going to be playing with... You guys are all running. It always seems like we're short on productivity modules. And I'm not sure why. Well, that beacon's doing nothing. That beacon's doing nothing. That beacon's doing nothing. Hang on. No, you're doing something, you're doing something, you're doing something. Okay. I just have extra beacons at the end for funsies. No, they are all running at this right crafting speed. Okay. Yeah, this build always seems to be short on productivity modules. We do have a lot of speed sitting on the belt. But yeah, it is producing. Who do I... Oh, wow. Jorg Bermudez. No, we did that. Flynn Green and Robert Brooks. So, everybody, I've said everybody's names, so we're all done. Thank you, everybody, for clicking that subscribe button. Thank you, every single one of you, for support. Well, those that support the channel, for going that little step above and beyond and helping like I said, keep my sanity and keep the channel running. Last but not least, next week we're probably going to be running, working on research, because we did work out this week that having this unload with a single loader removing 75 items per second, considering the speed we're launching rockets, is actually not fast enough to get the space science out and into boxes and so on and so forth. On top of that, we have been increasing our buffer size because we can't actually burn through. Are you just having an issue? You're having an issue. Or you're picking up a lot of red signs. Either or. We're having an issue trying to keep all the labs fed at the same time. It seems like we need to either extend the build, upgrade the build, add more science. We need to do something because we have space science stacking out the wazoo and we can't really spend it fast enough. And that was not the theme of this series. The theme of this series was to launch rockets on the subject of rockets, which is past 15,000 rockets. Anyway, with all that said, thank you so much to Seaman for clicking the subscribe button as well. I'm done with this recap episode. This is episode, as I said, 84½, which means down the description, not this week, but next week. So I really, really recommend you catch next week's episode. I will actually probably put down a map save. If you're interested in any of my builds anywhere through, because I do have people ask for, a copy of the blueprints, a copy of the map, whatever. I do offer 2 supporters. So as I said, Patreon is probably the cheapest way to do it. Patreon, $2 a month. You can become a supporter. You can then hit me up in Discord and ask me for any save. So that could be this save. That could be episode 61, episode 43, whatever episode you want. You can hit me up, ask me for save file, I'll shoot it across to you on Discord, and then you can pull out any blueprints you want. With all that said and done, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying this series. I do hope that if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, even though I flash up reminders every single time I go through and start reading out names. I do encourage you very much to click the subscribe button, add to my torture, and make the series go longer. On top of that, if you do want to help out and support the channel, there are always links down in the description to my Twitch if you want to throw an Amazon Twitch Prime subscription to me, which, like I said, if you have Amazon Prime, comes free. If you want to help out via Twitch, via Patreon. Also, if you go to the channel page, there is a memberships button there. You can click that and then become a YouTube member as well. You get a couple of emotes, emotes and badges that show up in the channel. So when you comment on things and that sort of stuff, they do show up, and tell other people that you're also a channel supporter, or a YouTube member of the channel. You take that extra step and you help out the channel. Anyway. With all that said, all that rambling out of the way, thank you guys so much. Like I said, next week's recap episode, I should put in a map save, but by all means, if you want to grab it early, become a supporter. Anyway, all that said, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. All right, bye.